Good morning, beautiful friends. I'm Kayla. This is Dewey's 24-hour readathon plus a couple more days. So last year for Dewey's 24-hour readathon, I couldn't get as much read during the actual 24 allotted hours as I wanted to. So I spread it out into like a 3-day vlog. So I still participated in Dewey's 24-hour readathon and read as much as I could, but I also included like 2 other days of vlog footage. And all that I read was space-related books. And I would like to just recreate that magic with this Dewey's. And maybe with every Dewey's in the future. I read 3 books last time. I'm gonna see if I can read 3 books this time. I have 2 of them right here. And then I have to go pick up my 3rd one that has been sitting at my local independent bookstore for, I don't know, like a month. It's already paid for and everything. I just haven't left my house in a really long time. It is Gemina, the sequel to Illuminae. Illuminae is the book that I read last Dewey's. So it's all coming together. And then my other 2 spacey books, I say spacey books, but like, if you've been here for a while, you know what I'm talking about. But I want books where space isn't the main character. It's not even the love interest. Space isn't even a side character. Space is a background extra. She's mentioned, but she's not the main focus. So in The Gravity of Us, it seems like we have these 2 boys who are falling in love, and one or both of their parents have been accepted into this NASA program. Maybe they're going to Mars, and I think there's a lot of drama and apparently a reality show, which I didn't realize before, but we'll see what happens with that. I also have The Loneliest Girl in the Universe by Lauren James. I've heard this is weird. I don't know if you mean that in a good way or a bad way, but there is a girl alone on a spaceship, and then there's another spaceship that shows up, and I have no idea what to expect. So today is Friday. This entire weekend is going to be about space, but it's Friday, so I'm still working from home. So I'm splitting my day in half. I'm going to work right now in the morning, and then I'm gonna spend some time with Liam, because Friday I don't make him do any school stuff, so we just spend some time together and do things, and he needs more of my attention. And then once Robbie's home from work, I will dedicate some more time to my job. So that's the plan, and in that middle time in the day we'll go for lunch. I have no groceries in the house, so I don't know if I need to stop at a grocery store or get Robbie to do that. I don't really have a plan, but at some point I'm gonna end up at the bookstore. And I figured while I'm working this morning, I might as well listen to an audiobook. That's not something that I've been taking advantage of as much as I should, but there are definitely moments while I'm working from home that I'm doing more like artsy type graphic stuff that I could easily pop in some headphones and listen to an audiobook. And I know you're all going to recommend that I listen to Gemina as an audiobook, and I don't want to at all. I'm sure it's such a good audiobook, that's what I've heard, but I love the physical process of reading the Illuminae files. I think like that's just the way that I would like to consume it if given the option. So I'm pretty sure I saw this on Scribd, and I'm gonna listen to the audiobook and see if I like it. But the next footage you see will probably be me heading to the bookstore. They're doing like curbside pickup, which is pretty cool. Okay, we are home now. I took some Bookstagram pictures, and I know some of you will be sad that this isn't a paperback because it doesn't match the series. It was the only thing available if I ordered from Indigo or Mosaic, so it's fine, but I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for the hardcover on Book Outlet in the future. I started The Loneliest Girl in the Universe, but I don't know how far I got in. Maybe like the first 2 chapters, nothing's really happened yet. Giving a good background on like how this girl's been in space her whole life and how she's alone now and in charge of everything because her parents died. I am just getting ready for a Zoom call. Liam's playing video games. I also just bought a printer, which I'm very excited about. Oh, he's not playing video games. He's watching other people play video games. I'm doing both. I'm doing a lot of planning this weekend for his next week of school stuff. And I just need to start printing some things out. It's all going to be space related. So I also bought this big black foam board that we're going to create the solar system with. All right, so this is going really well, but I'm gonna go do dinner and watch a movie and probably not vlog anymore tonight, but I'm really liking it so far. It's counting down to like when the second ship is going to meet up with the first ship, the ship that our girl's on, and there's a boy communicating with her from the other ship. So we're counting down, like right now we're at 136 days until it arrives, which is just over halfway. Like I said, loving it. I have a pretty good feeling that things aren't quite as they seem, and I've come up with a couple different scenarios from like whoever's communicating with her isn't actually coming at all, to this is all a hallucination and she's still like in her deep sleep because she's not supposed to get to Earth 2 where she's responsible for creating new life and all this stuff. There's also kind of a mystery. I don't want to give anything away, but like, so her parents are dead and there's kind of a mystery revolving around them and that whole situation. I have some theories about that too. Overall, it's just really interesting. It reads like an intense, hard-hitting, you know, contemporary set in space, which is perfect for me. I will see you in the morning when I'm done. Good morning again. Please get used to me looking rough because I refuse to put any more effort into my appearance today. It's Saturday. I'm once again drinking Tim Hortons out of a Starbucks cup and feeling blasphemous. I have no plans today besides reading. It's officially Dewey's 24-hour readathon. It started at 5 a.m. my time, which was 6 hours ago. It's also the social distance book fest where there's a bunch of like panels and live videos all day. So I'm gonna be watching a couple of those. I think the ones I want to watch are like 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock respectively. So I have some time to get in some reading, and I'm gonna read The Gravity of Us by Phil Stamper because I feel like a light, hopefully, kind of YA contemporary romance is gonna be a good choice after the intensity of this. I wanted to love this so much, and I was really hyped on it because I think the only times I've ever heard it talked about is people telling me that I'm gonna be obsessed with it. However, last night I posted what I was gonna be reading this weekend, and the comments are so mixed about this book. This person said The Loneliest Girl in the Universe is one of my absolute favorites. The Loneliest Girl in the Universe is such a good book. And then The Loneliest Girl in the Universe wasn't what I expected. And then The Loneliest Girl, yikes, it's so bad. So it's interesting to see how polarizing this book is for people. I do not fall on either side of this extreme opinion scale. I'm right in the middle. I would give it a 3. I feel like there are some memorable things about this. The writing itself was definitely suspenseful and interesting, and I think well done. I don't know that I loved where the story itself went. I had a lot of theories about what was going to happen with this boy coming on this other ship. Like, I came up with every scenario. The actual like results of everything were just, and like, I don't want to say kind of boring because obviously like you could think up any more exciting scenario than what any book actually does. It's just that I think there could have been more interesting, bigger revelations, just like a little bit more interesting stuff. I definitely get it. It's a quiet sci-fi. There are a lot of things in here that I've liked in other books. The mother-daughter relationship was really interesting. The technology in the ship itself definitely reminded me a bit of Illuminae, which was cool. I really do understand the love for this book. I just didn't feel it. It was more of like a middle ground of 3-star, like, I enjoyed it, but it's not really memorable for me. I'm sure it's something that I will recommend to lots of people because I definitely get it. On to The Gravity of Us. I'm gonna take a bath at some point today, probably not until the evening, but maybe I'll put in a little reading montage here just to break up the video. Maybe throw an ad in, who knows? So I'm moving pretty slowly through The Gravity of Us. I feel like at this point in the evening, I could have been finished it if I really put my mind to it, but I haven't felt particularly motivated to read today. I haven't really reached a point in the book that I like can't wait to pick it up and continue. I'm only like 50 pages in. I know, it's late. Also, I found my NASA sweater, which is thrilling. Basically, his dad has been chosen to maybe be a NASA astronaut. They have to go live and train and do all this stuff, as well as a reality show, and then see if he gets the opportunity to go to space. Our main character is like a 17-year-old who his life is just getting like shaken up, and he has to move abruptly right before his senior year, which I feel like is like a pretty common trope in YA, like moving to a new town in an inconvenient time, like having to get to know friends and start all over. But this is definitely an interesting new perspective on that, because it revolves around like space and this reality show. Traditionally, I don't like things revolving around that fame and that type of stuff. He's also currently involved in news stories. He considers himself a journalist. That's what he's going to go to school for. He just got offered a BuzzFeed internship, which is very interesting for somebody who already has like a follower base of 400,000 people. It's always interesting when a fictional book throws in somebody who is like internet famous or just has an internet following in general, because they oftentimes will overshoot or undershoot the like subscriber count and like how their life is impacted by that subscriber count. I've read a few books about like YouTubers or vloggers, and they've always just been like a little off for me. So in this one, just the numbers in general, he goes live and just like walks around Brooklyn and like talks about politics and space and news and stuff. And it said he had like 100,000 people watching his live, which is like a 25% live viewership, which is just unheard of, which shouldn't bug me and won't bug, you know, 99.9% of people reading this book. But it's just when you throw numbers in, I can't stop thinking about them being somebody who has a YouTube channel. And like, I want to know why he hasn't mentioned money, because if you have 400,000 people following you, I hope that you found a way to monetize your content. And if you have, like, I know that he could be making 6 figures a year. So like him talking about needing money for school and like starting an internship, just I'm questioning it all, which I shouldn't, because that's not the point of the story. But now I'm just getting distracted by it. He hasn't mentioned like ad spots or sponsor spots, and it said he's been building his audience for a year. And I'm wondering like if he's been really focused on it for a year, or if he's gained 400,000 people in a year. And then he talks about how he wants more followers. And I just like, I want him to talk more about that, because I feel like there are some stereotypes that come with like having an online audience and like your motives and the things that you think about. And I just want him to talk more about it. Like, why do you want more viewers? Is it because you like want more attention? Is it because you want to take this like channel or whatever somewhere else? Like, do you want more money? Like, what is your driving force behind it all? And then I'm trying to figure out if all of his content is live, because he's talking about going back and like deleting troll comments and people commenting after the fact. And I'm just I'm thinking about how live video doesn't really have a big viewership after the live is over. Or like, does he make other videos? What does he want from this internship if he already, like, what does he already know about? Is it all live? Does he like produce videos? Is he gonna talk about like editing them? And I don't know, but none of it matters, because now he's going off from New York to Texas, and he has to shut down his videos because he's gonna be on this show, and in the contract he's not allowed to put anything up outside of the show. It's gonna get juicy and I can't wait to tell you more. Also, I'm very glad I decided to preemptively turn this into a 3-day vlog, because if it was just today, this video would have gone nowhere because I haven't vlogged it all today. Hello. You got the printer working. Way to go. Good morning. We're at the beach collecting rocks for a project.
What kind of rocks do I have to find? Lava stone?
As flat as possible and as round as possible. I finished The Gravity of Us and I gave it 3 stars. I'll talk to you more about it when I get home.
Okay, here's my round.
I also need to curl my hair because I slept on it last night and I'm sad about how it looks. So we're home. I know that wasn't the most thrilling excursion for you to watch. We were there for like an hour, hanging out at the beach, collecting rocks. How is anybody vlogging during this pandemic? Like, how did I think that I could vlog this weekend? Nothing's happening. Here's what's happening. Let me promo my bookmark shop, which I always do anyway. I decided we should do a collection of zodiac sign ones. So there's gonna be 12 posted the same day as this video, with like Aries and Taurus and Gemini and all that stuff. And then I think we have a couple extra charms in each sign. There might be some we have none because we made them for like corresponding in the actual season. These ones were all leftover, so we're doing a whole collection, but obviously only one person can get each one. But you can always do a custom order with us and ask specifically for a charm, and then you can even pick like a stone that you want. Anyway, what were we talking about? The Gravity of Us. I think the reason that this didn't really work for me, 3 stars is a good book, right? Like, I recognize that it's good. It didn't have any major flaws or any huge issues, but it wasn't like incredible. I think for some people it could be. In general, there's always been a lack of queer stories. So that makes me just want to promote this book in general, because people are obviously going to get something out of this. The story is good. The relationship is good. Everything is good. For me, who's not the target demographic, like, there are certain YA and teen books that transcend age and hit different. So it's definitely not a critique that like, hey, it's a teen book and it's written for teens. But obviously there are a lot of teen books that I've given 5 stars. So do you see what I'm saying? I don't know. I can't think straight looking at myself like this. I'm gonna fix this and then we're gonna read Gemina together all day long. That's what I'm up to. I think everything in here for me just happened too fast. Like, we definitely have insta love, which I don't often have a problem with, but it's just that in general things happen so fast. Got in a relationship so fast, tragedy happened so fast. We just sped through so much stuff. Okay, we're back. We're doing it. We're reading Gemina. This better not be a flop or I'll cry. That one's amazing. This is a guided draw book that we found for Liam while we were out. And a monster truck. Thanks, homie. This is horrifying. Not my face. What my face do?
Which one do you like better?
I love the dinosaurs so much. This is from the beach.
What?
Look how gross your glasses look.
Well, I can't see.
Oh, speaking of Liam, it was kind of perfect timing. I got this package in the mail, including Hello Universe, which we got in an Owl Crate Junior, but the publisher sent the paperback version of Hello Universe to us, along with Erin and Trada Kelly's upcoming thing. This comes out in May, and it's called We Dream of Space. Like, I only got 1 ARC package this entire week, and it happened to be a space book. I don't know how it happened. But this is about 3 siblings, and they're all going through stuff in life. One of them is Bird, and she dreams of being NASA's first female shuttle commander. So this is pretty long for a middle grade. Like, we're at almost 400 pages, and it'll be really fun to get to read together. Anyway, I don't really know how to spice up this vlog because I'm not going anywhere or doing anything. So you're just gonna follow me throughout the entire day today reading Gemina. How long is this? 600 and something pages. I don't know what it's about. It could either be taking place at the same time as Illuminae did, just following different people, or it's after Illuminae. But I think we're still following different people. I don't really know what's going on, but we're just gonna dive right in. Okay, we're definitely after the events of Illuminae. Okay, so it took like 100 pages to get fully convinced that this was going to be as like interesting as Illuminae. But I'm here, I'm in it, I'm fully reminded why I loved Illuminae so much, why this writing just really works for me. I did actually try the audiobook for a little bit today while I was doing something, and while I did enjoy it, and I understand because it's got like full cast, it's got music, it's really well done, even as far as like you know, when there's like texts between people and it'll be like Kayla, Rob, like it doesn't say the name every single time, but it distinguishes the voices enough and the tone that like you don't need that, which you think would be standard, but I've read so many books that just are so repetitive with like texting and emailing that it gets arduous to listen to. I do still definitely prefer reading it with my eyeballs though, so I'm going to continue this way. In this book, we're following we're still following like the same events. It's so hard to not completely spoil Illuminae when talking about Gemina. We are following different people, but I feel like you're just as invested in the relationship. There's a little like love triangle going on. I think we've got some like hate to love, bad boy type character. Bad boy. I don't know why that sounded so wrong coming out of my mouth. Because you're 30, Kayla. That's why. Yeah, I just love it. I'm gonna keep reading now. Okay. Okay, it's the next day. I fell asleep reading Gemina last night and didn't update you, and I feel sad about it. And I probably won't get around to editing this until like tomorrow. I've seen everyone else going through the waves of like being fine with self-isolating and social distancing and quarantine or whatever you're going through. And I'm finally in that like down portion. I want my life back. I'm feeling really overwhelmed by a lot of things, like my child. But obviously I'm very fortunate to be in the position I am, to live where I live, etc., etc. It's just like, I'm having a rough time. I can definitively tell you though that like my personal mood doesn't affect my reading mood, because this got 5 stars. This is just, it's perfection. So I enjoyed the reading process just as much as Illuminae. I feel like it took me, like I said, a while to get attached to new characters in a new situation. And then even though I gave it 5 stars, like I will say it lost me for maybe 100 pages in the middle. I don't know how to say this without sounding dumb because this is SFF, but like the science and the fantasy nature of things just like got a little much. I'm just not the most interested in general, I feel like, in like robots and aliens. When I think about space stuff that I want to read, this literally conversation doesn't make any sense, and I realize that, okay? But this type of space story is more what I generally prefer, and this type of space story and the focus of it tends to not be what I love to read about. But for some reason there is something about Illuminae, the series, that just does it for me, even though I'm not like always the most interested in like where the focus is. I just appreciate so much how this is written, and the way that it's written, the fact that it makes me so desperately attached to these characters and is so atmospheric. The setting is so perfect, even though it's told in like instant messages, is just so like, how? I don't understand it. It's amazing. I also listened to the audiobook for like some of that, and that might have been what it was. I feel like before I read Obsidio, I know it's going to take me a little while before I want to, but I do think I'm going to restart at the beginning and read the entire trilogy together in a month. Because there were certain things that I kind of forgot were tied to Illuminae, and maybe I didn't get like the biggest impact. And then I got to the end and I was like, oh yeah, that explains that and that explains that. I definitely made a mistake switching to the audiobook is kind of what I'm saying. I think you need to do the entire thing as an audiobook or the entire thing reading it, because going back and forth just was not the smartest thing. But I still give this 5 stars because it's perfect. It's so hard to explain. So my favorite part about Illuminae was there was the parts that like the pages, it's back here somewhere, I'm not gonna pull it out, but there are certain pages where like, yes, don't look at me. I don't know what I'm doing.
I just can't understand what you're saying.
Literally the comments of every single person watching this video. I just can't understand what you're saying. My favorite parts are the pages that are like this, where you have to read them weird and you have to like turn your book upside down. And I thought there was a lot more of it in Illuminae, but now looking back through it, that doesn't happen that often. So I was like halfway through Gemina and I was like, I want some more pages that are fun like that. But then I did get them in the end, and there are some funky pages in here too. There's also some unique, different kind of documents, because the whole thing about Illuminae files is that it's like documents, it is files, it's like people talking about this big catastrophic event, and then these ships, and there's certain different things happening on each ships, and there's like bad people and there's good people and there's space wars, there's like zombie things and bug things and creatures and aliens and all types of things happening. It definitely keeps your attention. I need to reread it already is what I'm saying. I'm not expressing myself well, and I'm just trying not to abandon this entire vlog, to be honest. But that's what happened. Gemina, 5 stars. Did I explain The Loneliest Girl in the Universe? I don't know, but I gave it 3 stars. The Gravity of Us, did I fully explain it? I'm not sure, but I gave it 3 stars. This overall hasn't been a great reading month in general. I've given out, well, I guess I could just talk about this in my wrap up. Literally, that has to go out, what, tomorrow by the time you see this? But I've only given out 2 5 stars this month, and they were more like this. Like, objectively, I know this is 5 stars. I feel like I don't sound as passionate as I normally do when I give out 5 stars, but I know in my heart that they're 5 stars. That's all I have to say. I need to get back to being a mom. So I will see you soon with another video. I hope it's better than this one. Bye, love you.